I brought this upon myself. Drak Pack premiered on CBS in September of 1980. It was made by Hanna-Barbera, which means it sucks, so I should just end the review right there, but, you know, obligations. The series is about 3 teenagers who gain the powers of famous movie monsters to fight the evil doings of Dr. Dread. Gee, a Hanna-Barbera cartoon about crime-fighting teenagers. Haven't heard that one before. The team consists of Drak Jr., who is the nephew of Count Dracula. Why is he Junior if Dracula is his uncle? Is his father also named Dracula? Why is the Dracula family so boring? Also, who the hell names their child Dracula? And for some reason, he sounds like Don Adams.
Okay, Dr. Dread. You wanted to meet here so we can talk private. Ah, the old fly in disguise trick, huh? Remind me never to let Frankie go shopping by himself again.
Don't worry, Chief. I'm always on duty.
Missed it by that much. There's Frankie, who turns into Frankenstein. And I'm not going to be that guy that points out that Frankenstein wasn't the name of the monster, it was the name of the doctor. Although that is true. Then there's Howler, who turns into the Wolfman. His power is having super strong breath, which is the big bad wolf, not the Wolfman. They're led by Count Dracula himself, who they call Big D.
Under the leadership of none other than Count Dracula, known as Big D.
We better contact Big D and see what's on his mind. When we tell Big D about Dr. Dread, he's really gonna be steamed up.
Don't call me Big D. I am your great Uncle Dracula.
I don't even have a comment for that. It just makes me angry. The reason why Big D assembled this elite team of crime fighters is to try and right the wrongs done in the past by him, Frankenstein, and the Wolfman.
Where are your manners? Remember, you were brought up to be good guys and make up for all the bad stuff Werewolf Frankenstein and I pulled off for centuries.
Yeah, I'm sure thwarting a few delinquents will make up for all the people you murdered. By the way, Frankenstein's monster and the Wolfman never actually show up, which might be for the best because they turned Dracula into a joke. He acts like a cranky old man and constantly complains about everything.
All you kids think about is yourselves. After all I've done for you, that's all the thanks I get. No! Get to the museum and stake it out. And speaking of steaks, where's my T-bone sandwich? Never mind. Go stop Dr. Dread. Oh, I'm losing my bubbles. Kids today, who needs them? What's all the commotion? First I burn my toast, then my eggs stick to the pan. And I spill jelly on my cake. And you interrupt what's left of my breakfast.
What? Vampires don't eat human food. In fact, they hate human food. That's something even Mina and the Count got right.
Mortal food is disgusting.
That's an obscure reference. So let's look at our villains. They're led by the evil mastermind, Dr. Dread, who would later go on to change his name to Dr. Dreadful and create a line of do-it-yourself confectionaries for children. Who is he? Why is he evil? What's his beef with Dracula? I don't know! I may have brought this up before, but Hanna-Barbera isn't really known for storyline or backstory or anything like that. They usually try and focus on being funny, or at least trying to, which is fine, but it always perplexed me that they would constantly be doing shows about superheroes and stuff that need backstory. Dr. Dread's henchmen are Mummy Man, who is a mummy, in case you didn't catch the subtext, who only speaks in indiscernible grunts.
You're right, Mummy Man. He is as strong as a horse.
There's Fly, who's half man, half fly, or just some guy in a fly suit, I don't know. Vampira, who I guess is also supposed to be a vampire, but I've only seen her shapeshift into animals and stuff. Also, she's seen out in the sun quite a bit. Must be a daywalker. Also, Vampira sounds like Ava Gavor.
Sometimes, Drak darling, you really get my goat.
There's Toad, who's basically Dr. Dread's Igor, who he abuses every time he messes up.
And don't play with them! Don't butt me while I'm exulting, you little worrywart.
Quiet, you worthless wolf. Stop that dribbling and stick with your driving.
There were times where Toad even abused himself.
Forgive me, boss. Bad Toad, bad Toad.
That is royally messed up. And yes, they clearly based his character after Peter Lorre.
Yes, imitation's the sincerest form of flattery.
So basically this show takes famous movie monsters and beloved actors and makes a mockery of them. I think that was James Rolfe screaming in anger. This show is stupid. Let me count the ways. So the Drak Pack activates their powers by doing a high five or just touching somehow, and they call this the Drak Whack.
Right, the Drak Whack. Wacko! Reach out! Drak Pack! Wacko! We better Drak Pack whack and make tracks.
And yes, they say it every time.
Quick! It's Drak Whack time! Quick, you guys! Drak Whack!
Now, we can whack.
Wacko!
And every time they say it, I get a little more uncomfortable.
Come on, Pack! Let's whack!
Stop saying that! Also, why aren't they transformed most of the time? Their powers don't seem to have any limits and they constantly run into danger without them. Sometimes they even power down when there's no need to.
The Statue of Liberty looks safe. We better change to normal and look around.
Idiots! Apparently they need to keep their identities a secret too, for no apparent reason. You know, if this show isn't going to go into backstory, then why bother with a secret identity plot point? By the way, can we talk about Drak for a second? His resting normal face is creepy. He looks like he's ready to stab someone. He's actually less creepy when he's in vampire mode. And I'd make some snarky comment about how he looks like a Hot Topic employee, but this show is too cheap. Maybe a Party City employee? Frankie's quirk is that he can break anything when he gets mad, which makes sense for someone with the powers of the Frankenstein monster, but rather than getting mad himself, he's got to be told to get mad.
They won't get away with this because Frankie's getting mad.
I am.
You're getting so mad, you're fit to bust your bolts.
Interesting metaphor for this show because it's telling me to get mad. And they suck as heroes. How do you have the power of all these famous characters and screw this up? Not that it really matters because Dredd's goons usually mess everything up anyway. Especially Toad.
I'm the only one who can turn off the Drak convector.
Oh, yeah? Dredd would never put you in charge of the off button.
Oh, yes, he would. There it is, that red button right there.
Really?
Bad Toad.
You know, suddenly I don't feel bad about the abuse. God, these clowns are almost as bad as the villains from Filmation's Ghostbusters. The only one that's halfway competent is Dredd, and just barely. He'll straight up tell Drak his plans, and then try and dispose of him in a situation that he'll get out of anyway, and in the most ridiculous ways possible.
Okay, Dredd, if that's the way you want it, the Drak Pack is ready to deal with a double dealer.
Oh, come on! That's ridiculous even by Hanna-Barbera standards! Even the ways Dredd calls him are silly.
All right, I'll be there. That was Dredd with the meanest trick yet. He called collect.
Okay, that was kind of funny. There was actually an episode about Dredd celebrating his birthday, and all he did was find annoying ways to announce to the world that it was his birthday.
Happy birthday just for me. I'm celebrating high for all the world to see.
It's Dr. Dredd.
Right, and I'm going to let everyone know it's my birthday, whether they want to or not.
Our villain, ladies and gentlemen. My favorite plan he's had is to make a movie showing the Drak Pack being bad to turn people against them. And it worked!
We thought the Drak Pack were good guys. Not anymore, they're not.
Oh, the kids hate us.
I'd say this is dumb, but in a Hanna-Barbera world, everyone is dumb anyway, so I'm not too shocked. Speaking of stupid, there was an episode where they were helping an explorer find an ancient city made of silver. Hey idiots! Silver is bad for vampires and werewolves! What's next? Are they gonna go on a tour of a garlic farm? Oh, here's a fun fact. I found out why I kinda like Dredd. He's voiced by Hans Conried, the voice of Captain Hook from Disney's Peter Pan. Well, I guess he is used to having bumbling henchmen.
Don't stand there, you big rats! Get those scabby brats! Incompetents! Stop playing and capture them!
This show is bad, but it's Hanna-Barbera, so is anyone really shocked? Even without the backstory or anything like that, it's still pretty annoying and not funny. The problem was the episodes were a full half hour, and because of that, a lot of jokes felt forced, and there was always a lot of padding and other nonsense. Oh, and did I mention the puns?
Tell Drak I'll be tied up for a while.
Ooh! 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 Good thing I got a mask on this time. But the series itself was short, with only 16 episodes, which is kind of an unusual number to end on, but I'm not gonna complain. You know, I was kinda hoping this would at least be decent, because turning movie monsters into heroes is a neat idea, and it has been done a few other times. But Drak Pack is an example of how not to do it. Maybe we'll look at one of those next year, but as for this, you can skip it. Well, even though Halloween's on a Monday this year, I hope you have a happy one. And the next time you see me, I think I'll be reviewing something I'm a little more comfortable with. Like a cartoon based on an 80s toy.
This is my favorite teddy bear. I don't sleep good without it.
This is how we're represented. Unbelievable.